Hey guys, welcome back to Curls on Demand. I'm your girl Sabrina, and if this is your first time, then welcome to the family. I am so glad that you're here today. So, I've been doing a series on hair routines for different type of naturals, and today we're gonna be talking about the wig and protective style type of natural. Okay, so let's get into the video. All right, so I know you can see that I'm wearing a protective hairstyle too. I'm wearing these butterfly locks that I tried. It's not perfect, but I love them anyways, and they're red. I've never tried color before in braids. I lied. I tried blonde. Okay, I lied, but I've never tried red before. Have I? I have. I just lied again. This is not good practice. But anyways, I've not had red locks before. How about we say that? And I'm really loving this, although I can't wait to take them out because I really just want to see my hair again. I really just love my hair. But anyways, that's not what we came for. We didn't come and talk about these locks. We did not come and talk about these locks. If you want to see how I got them done, then I'll put a link down here below so that you can find out, but this is not what we can talk about. Let's just get into the meat of the matter. All right, so a lot of times when we use protective hairstyles, or we put in protective hairstyles like wigs or braids or whatever type of protective hairstyle that you use, there's so many of them. It's usually to give our hair a break because we're lazy. Let's admit that, because we're lazy. Or sometimes we don't know how to deal with our natural hair, and we're not trying to deal with our natural hair. So it's just a lot easier to just put in a protective hairstyle and forget about it for like a month or more. But even if you have your hair in a protective hairstyle, that does not mean that you should not be taking care of it. That is why some of y'all are out here with these protective hairstyles for like 2 months, and then it breaks like crazy, and then all of a sudden you don't got a hairline. Okay, you know what? Sabrina, you're taking this too far. Let's reel it in. Okay, let's start again. Sis, if you're wearing protective hairstyles, you still need to take care of your hair. That's it. Still need to take care of your hair in some way, form, or fashion. Okay, shedding is natural. Having shedding after moving protective hairstyle is also natural because your hair naturally sheds. But you don't want unneeded shedding, unneeded breaking, and you don't want to lose your hairline or those baby hairs. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna give you some tips and a good routine. I'm going to give you some tips and a routine that you can tweak the way you want if you're a natural who loves wearing wigs or loves wearing protective hairstyles. Okay, so the first step is, if you're putting in a protective hairstyle, I don't care if you're putting it for a week, sis. I do not care how long you're putting it in for. You need to make sure that you're washing it. Now, I know, like for me, like synthetic hair makes my scalp itch. Like, it makes my scalp itch. So every time I like want to be lazy and like not wash my synthetic hair before using it, I pay for it because my scalp will be on fire. I'll be itching like I got, you know what? I'm just not gonna say what I was about to say. You know what causes itching, so we're just gonna act like I said what I wanted to say. Anyways, so my scalp is usually itching really badly, like really badly. Like I have some sort of like infection or something in my hair. Like, so there are a lot of people who are actually allergic to synthetic hair because the process in the manufacturing process puts some alkaline product on the hair. They spray some alkaline product on the hair, and that causes irritation for a lot of people. And so a lot of people need to wash hair before they use it. And that's a very good practice to have. If you put any protective hairstyle or any wig on your head, wash it before you use it to avoid itching and irritation of your scalp. I do have a video of how I wash my synthetic hair. I'll put it somewhere up here. I'll put it somewhere down below, but you want to make sure that you're washing your hair before you even start using protective hairstyles or wigs. Okay, that's it. Done. I think I've said that like 10 times. So let's move on. The next step is to shampoo your scalp while you have a protective hairstyle in. Now, I know that kind of sounds crazy, but it's not really crazy. I do have a video on like how I wash my hair when I have a protective hairstyle in. I'll link that down below and somewhere here. But like my hair hates going a week without being like washed, because then it will start itching and it will be screaming at the top of its lungs for some attention. And so like washing, like I do a shampoo bath, that's what I call it, a shampoo bath with like a rag where I dilute some shampoo, and then I'll go in and like wash and cleanse my scalp really quickly, just to give myself some of that relief. And so I recommend, sometimes some people need that every week, some people need that every 2 weeks, but if you're keeping hair in for like a month, you probably need to do it every week or every 2 weeks. That's what I would advise. Now, if you are wearing a wig, it's a lot easier for you. If you're wearing a wig, why? Because it's your real hair under there. So you can actually like go in there and shampoo your hair or like redo your braids or whatever, because you're wearing a wig. And so if you wanted to like take out those cornrows that you were wearing under the wig, then you can do that every week if you want. And if you don't want to do that every week and you want to do that every month, you can still go in and like shampoo your scalp with those cornrows in there. Okay, so the next step is to do the same thing with a conditioner. So you're going to do a conditioner wash for your scalp or any hair that you have exposed in the protective hairstyle. So for example, I have locks on right now, and so the only part of my hair that's actually out is the roots of my hair. So going in and like using a conditioner wash to like just go through and wash the roots of my hair gives me so much relief. And so you just take a rag the same way you do with the shampoo, and you would put some conditioner in some water in a water bath, and then you'd go in, take the rag and like pass that through your hair, and that feels really great. And let's admit, I mean, it's also like a nice little like scalp scrub / massage, and so who would ever say no to that? Right? So I'll probably do that like once a week also, especially if I'm keeping the hair for like a month or 2 months in my hair, and that really adds some relief. Then you want to obviously go ahead and dry it, because you don't want your hair to be stinking up the place, right? Just saying. Right, so you're gonna go ahead and dry that, and then of course like re-moisturize or put your gel in again and whatever else that you want to do to make sure everything looks slick and nice, right? Then you need to moisturize your scalp or your hair. I'm so serious about it, because for some reason we think that, oh, we have protective hairstyle in, I don't need to moisturize anymore. Bitch, no. Oh, I mean, sis, no. You really think about it. Your scalp is usually exposed, not in a wig, but if you're wearing a protective hairstyle, your scalp is usually exposed. So you need to moisturize your scalp a lot of the times. You need to moisturize or re-moisturize your scalp, even though you've moisturized it before putting in the protective hairstyle. So a good idea is to continue moisturizing your scalp with oil using something like this, which is what I use. I actually have to moisturize my hair today. Anyways, so re-moisturize your scalp with this at least twice a week, because especially when you have the synthetic hair on your head, like you don't see how fast your scalp gets dry from having like synthetic hair on your head. So a good idea is actually to re-moisturize your scalp every like 2 days. Okay, every 2 days or every other day, go ahead and re-moisturize your scalp. And it's the same thing for a wig. You're putting that wig on your head, and so your hair gets dry from that. And so using like a nice moisturizer or shea butter or oil or anything, or your favorite oil, then that's a good idea to go ahead and like apply that again to like re-moisturize your scalp and then re-moisturize your hair if you're wearing a wig, right? And so that's good to keeping your hair healthy and moisturized under your wig or with your protective hairstyle. All right, don't forget it's very important to re-moisturize your hair every other day or every 2 days. Okay, we got that. All right, so I know that when you wear protective hairstyle, you usually wear protective hairstyle for a long period of time. I actually don't like wearing my protective hairstyles very long. Like usually after 2 weeks, I'm tired. I'm ready to take it out. I'm like ready to move on to the next one or to see my hair again. Like I've had wigs in for 2 weeks, and to be honest, like if I don't take it out tonight, like I would be surprised. But like I know usually you pay so much money to like get your hair done, so wearing for 2 weeks really doesn't make sense. And so a lot of people, when they wear protective hairstyles, they're wearing them for like a month. And if you're wearing it for a month, then I would recommend that when you do take them out, inspect your hair for like split ends or anything like that, because you want to trim your ends and you want to know when your ends need to be trimmed. So let's say you wear a protective hairstyle for 2 months, you may want to like trim your ends after that 2 months, or you may want to trim your ends every 6 months, because it's always in a protective hairstyle, it's always in a protective state, so you probably don't need to trim as often, like as a person who always has their hands in their hair or who's always manipulating their hair. But you still want to put trimming in your hair routine. And so for you, that might look like every 6 months, because you really don't see your hair that often, and when you take out one hairstyle, you're putting in another. But you do want to take care of those ends regardless, okay? So I'd recommend for anybody who's using protective hairstyles or wigs, do it every 6 months. Like it's not that much of a big deal. You're wearing the protective hairstyles most of the time anyways. And I really prefer protective hairstyles like locks, because what happens when you wear locks or when you're wrapping your hair, your hair itself, like the ends of your hair, is always like fully moisturized, like when you take out the lock, because it's been sitting under there and it's been protected away from like the elements and the air and whatever. So the only part of your hair that really needs to be taken care of is your scalp and your new growth. And so wearing things like locks or hairstyles that allow you to like wrap your hair in it is so great compared to like wearing braids or like twist, where your hair is like in the actual hair, in the synthetic hair, but it's also still kind of exposed. So you actually like have to like put moisture all the way down the strand to make sure that your hair itself is getting moisture and all of that too. So if you're doing protective hairstyles that still have your hair exposed, like braids and stuff, you probably want to inspect your hair a little more to see if it needs trimming before the 6 month mark. Just saying. And then our last step is to give your hair a break. I can't stress this enough. When you put protective hairstyles and you want to like slick your hair down and you want it to look neat when you first do it, especially when you first do it, and then let's say 2 weeks later you probably come in and do a retouch again, we're putting a lot of tension on our hair, and my advice is to not wear protective hairstyles that do put a lot of tension on your hair, but sometimes you can't avoid it. The person you go to might put so much tension on your hair that you can't sleep at night. Like I've had horror migraines and stories about wanting to just cut off my hair because it was so uncomfortable to sleep after getting it done. And so one, you want to be aware of that, to let the person that's doing your hair know that, hey, I don't need all this tension. Don't try to snatch my edges. Like I'm not trying to do all that, right? And so you need to be cognizant of how much tension that's actually putting on your hair. So giving your hair a break and allowing it to breathe, like at least 2 weeks to a month between your previous protective hairstyle and your new protective hairstyle is really a good idea. It gives you time to take care of your hair a little more. It gives you time to deep condition at least for 2 weeks to a month, and take care of your hair before putting another protective hairstyle in. And so don't forget to give your hair a break. Even though you're wearing wigs or what, give your hair a break every now and again to just be and to flourish and to do its thing, right? And so that's kind of all the tips I have for you if you're a wig / protective natural type of girl. Remember, if you're usually wearing protective hairstyles, there's not a lot of things that you need to do. There's not a lot of work that you need to do, but you do need to take care of your scalp. You do need to take care of your hair. You do need to make sure that you're always moisturized, and that's the key in every hair routine. So don't forget, moisture, 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 even if you're on a protective hairstyle regimen. Okay? Now, that's all I have for you today, guys. That's all I have for you today. I will see you in the next video. So I actually have a bonus video. Yes, I know I said I was doing 5 different types of naturals, but I forgot one type of natural. So I decided to add a 6th natural to this series, and I'm gonna cover the transitioning natural. I think it's important for transitioning naturals to have a good hair routine, and I don't see a lot of hair routines for transitioning naturals, and I think that it's essential for us to do that. So if you're a transitioning natural and you want to see, or you know somebody who's a transitioning natural, then stay tuned for the last video of the series. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.